Hello everyone, welcome to Sporty Spotlight. My name is Ranulph Bacon. I'm your host, joined by Surefire, aka good old Daniel. So yeah, how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm good. I'm doing good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. So yeah, I'm sorry that we couldn't do this yesterday because I had a concert. Yeah, sorry about that, Daniel. I hope that wasn't inconvenient for you.
Nah, I just look more prepared this time because of the headset stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it's much better. We're doing it on Friday night, so yeah, no need to worry about getting up for school in the morning. And yeah, there's been plenty to reflect on this week. So the thing I think we should probably start with is the two main managerial appointments of this week. So we'll do them one by one. Okay, so the first one, Ruud van Nistelrooy gets the Leicester City job. So we talked about like Steve Cooper sacking being a bit harsh. But yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Oh, bugger! Just dropped my phone. Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy to Leicester. I think that's a very good appointment on Leicester's behalf. And but yeah, do you think it's probably not going to be too complicated, considering that Ruud in his very Van Nistelrooy in his very short spell as Man United interim manager, he beat Leicester twice.
Well, that might affect him a bit, but
Yeah.
What I think. Well, I think I said it before. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if I said his name specifically. I think I said he was being approached by Leicester, but he has now obviously been fully appointed by Leicester. I might as well be Fabrizio Romano now, but you know. No, he's a good manager. Like I said before, he's brilliant defensively. He's got good attacking football. He can get the best out of his squad. But maybe he should have done it before playing when he was like. Maybe he should just not take a Man United interim whatsoever.
Yeah.
That probably would have been better for Leicester results.
Mhm. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm sure that he'll probably, knowing his reputation, I can imagine he'll probably win over the Leicester crowd quite quickly. And I think that they probably this season they'll finish mid-table comfortably, and next season they'll start thinking about how trying to go for the top 10 again. Do you think that's like sort of a reasonable and like realistic sort of journey for Leicester, like a multi-year plan that every club's got to have, pretty much?
Well, in the next 2 years, I'd say mid-table would be good. Maybe mid-table like next season or a few seasons now. But the goal this season is avoiding relegation, like it is with every team that gets promoted. Just getting away from the drop and then just developing yourself to get better and better and better. That's the plan of every team. So I'm not expecting Leicester to do like crazy bits under Van Nistelrooy this year, but give it next season if he's still there, which he should be. Otherwise, Leicester have just gone crazy. But yeah. Leicester will be fine by the next few years if they keep Van Nistelrooy around.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, going on to the next main bit of managerial news that's come out from this week. So Frank Lampard has got the Coventry City job. So a lot of people expected it to be, yeah, that face. That's not promising. That's not promising. Yeah. So yeah, Lampard's got the Coventry job, and yeah, by your expression now, you look mightily concerned. So that's worth talking about. So yeah, care to help me break this down, considering that his managerial record already. What are we diving into?
It's not just that, but I also heard the assistant manager he's getting, which I find hilarious.
Oh God, who is it?
As a Millwall fan, I find this hilarious.
Go on, spit it out.
Joe Edwards is going to be assistant manager, I heard.
Oh,
it's going to be proper Coventry City banter era for me.
Oh no. Oh my God. Yeah.
We'll go to Coventry in like next week or whatever.
God, bloody hell. But yeah, seriously, let's think about thinking about Lampard's managerial record over the last couple of years. So he did wonders at Derby, got them to a playoff final, and they had a really good season. They knocked Man United out of the League Cup at Old Trafford. They were probably one of the most exciting teams to watch in England. But then over the next couple of years, he went to Chelsea. Didn't he have a spell at who was it? Preston, I think it was, wasn't it? Who was it?
Might have been.
Yeah, he had a spell
Yeah,
at another
got that
club
last week.
that apparently wasn't as successful, and then he had a second spell at Chelsea, and then he got sacked after what was it, like 10 games or so? He didn't last long at all, did
Yeah.
he? Yeah, but seriously, how do you think this is gonna start and potentially end for Frank Lampard?
Well, I don't. You don't really know, do you? Because
No.
like obviously you've seen Lampard in different environments. Like with Chelsea, he wasn't great. Like with Everton, he wasn't great. But then I don't. With Derby, he was brilliant. Like I don't really know what to expect because Coventry are a good side. They should be going for promotion contender, especially with the striker they got in Haji Wright. What a player
Yeah.
he is.
He is.
But yeah, like you don't really know what to expect from Frank Lampard because you could get anything from him, to be honest.
Yeah, and to be honest, Coventry really need to turn their season around. They are not where I would have expected them to be, considering how their last season went for them. Because I'm pretty sure they're not too far from the relegation zone at all, and I just wouldn't expect that of them at all. But that's why it's important to remember that this is the Championship and anything can happen.
Anything can happen, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What a league.
Yeah. So results from the last 5 days that are worth talking about. Let's sort of just start from the Monday and just work our way through. So towards the end of last episode, it was right roughly at the start of the Newcastle West Ham kickoff, and I really didn't have hope for West Ham, and neither did Jamie Carragher, even though he was much more vocal about it. Well, that was honestly quite funny because I thought that on Monday night West Ham, they gave a really good account of themselves, and that's honestly proves that this team is much better than what they've given of themselves so far this season. And it's a bit like, I think they're in a bit of sort of a Luton Town situation at the moment. Luton, they're playing I think they've got a much better team than what they've shown themselves to be so far. So do you think that this I know it's only one win, but do you think that win over Newcastle at St James's Park against a very strong Eddie Howe Newcastle side, do you think that could potentially be the start of some sort of turning point for West Ham?
Well, it could be, but then on the other side it can't, because obviously if they do this again, they get another 2 wins in the next 2 weeks, I'll say, yeah, maybe they could actually turn this around. Maybe a win and a draw, then yeah, I still think they can. But if they just straight up lose 2, then I know that was just a fly-off. It's just going to be the same situation again and again and again. West Ham will not live up to expectation.
Yeah.
But if they get 2 draws, then I still don't think they'll live up to expectation. They need at least another win in these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if they get 2 wins in 2 games, I'll consider them legit. But right now, I don't. But I do think it was a good result. But before you get any more Premier League results, I have just came in from the final result of Sheffield United Sunderland.
Oh god, yeah, that's a 1-0. Yep, 1-0 to Sheffield United.
A 1-0 Sheffield United win.
Yep, weren't there 2 penalty saves or something like that?
I think there was.
Yeah, that's insane. That's mad.
I know Metham and Suter got both sent off, but
yep, god, this is why the Championship's so good. We pretty much get Friday night football every week. It's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So Sheffield United have beaten Sunderland 1-0 at Bramall Lane. Tom Davies. There's two red cards for both teams.
Which sends Sheffield United down to the top at the moment. Obviously, could go and win now.
God, these stats are so tight. So Blades, they had 14 shots, Sunderland had 16, 50-50 in possession. God, this is why I think that title races in the Championship
are crazy.
Yeah, they're absolutely madness.
I remember last season, when Leicester, they had that clear lead, and all of a sudden Maresca just dropped. And then Ipswich actually had a chance at the league at one point.
Yeah.
Leeds had a chance at the league at one
point.
Yeah, they
did.
Harrogate Town was a big games for them.
Yeah.
Completely off the topic that though.
Yeah, but so going back to the West
Premier
Ham,
League.
yeah, even though that's ridiculously overcovered, as we all know. Yeah, problem for West Ham has been consistency, and like you said, living up to potential and expectations. That's been a problem at West Ham for years. Like, for example, I'm reading Mark Noble's autobiography at the moment, and he said even back then, like the 2000s and before that, it was so sad that they never lived up to their potential of the teams that they had. Because, he was talking about, that was the team that had, he was talking about, he had players amongst him, Carlos Tevez, Scott Parker, those sorts of players. Yeah. But the only time will tell. And so yeah, talking about Tuesday night, this is where a lot of the championship results came in. So Norwich, not a particularly nice day for Pieface at all.
No. I saw it on the good old socials.
Yeah, good old video.
He was a happy man.
Yeah. Yep, so Norwich beat Plymouth 6-1 under the lights. So yeah, good bit of revenge for last season. They beat us 6-2 at home park, and yeah, they sort of had it coming, but to be honest, Plymouth were just awful. I guess they would have said the same thing about us last season, but yeah, it's just absolutely madness. I've seen some, I think they were honestly the worst team to come to Carrow Road probably since Rotherham last season when we pumped them 5-0. So yeah, and Wayne Rooney was very upset. So do you think that, like, if this keeps going, then potentially Wayne Rooney could be out of a Plymouth job already? And if so, that would be quite a bad reputation on him, considering that he didn't last even like 20 games at Birmingham City last season. That would probably be quite bad on his managerial record.
Well, I expected Rooney to get sacked anyway, if anything even happened. Rooney was going to get sacked no matter what. I won't be shocked if he still gets sacked. But no, I definitely think I jinxed it when I said, when Plymouth beat you 6-2 last season, you go proceed to beat them 6-1 now in the week that I said it.
Yep.
I think the more I chat nonsense about Norwich, about how bad they are, they'll go and jump another team like 6-0. Here we go.
And
no.
yeah, and you were talking about Portsmouth Millwall, and I was partially hoping, come on, Josh Murphy hat-trick, please. But yeah, we don't have a game to talk about.
Even a minute.
We don't have a game to talk about because so game postponed, which is quite poor from Portsmouth, if you ask me. Honestly, quite embarrassing. Yeah, so do you want to elaborate on that at all?
Well, I knew, I wasn't confident going into the game, but I hate it when, a game gets postponed, even if I know we're going to get into it, because that day, obviously I was going to watch it, but
yeah.
I didn't get to watch it because it was postponed.
Yeah.
I literally watched, the whole 20-30 minutes delay, and I saw everyone else on their socials, Millwall-wise, they were not happy, and neither would I.
Fair
Look
enough.
at the expenses of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'd just have a refund if you went there.
Yeah, I hopefully all the Millwall fans got their blimmin'.
Yeah, I think they've got
refunds.
refunds, but
yeah, good.
I still find the travel expenses is still going to hit a truck.
It's still not good enough, and that's going to be really frustrating for both teams because that was a game in hand before the weekend, and that's potentially 3 points that Portsmouth have missed out on that could steer them further away from the relegation zone, and 3 points that Millwall have missed out on that could put you closer to the playoffs. So it's really frustrating when fixtures get postponed just like that.
After I fell away from Norwich, so I could rub it in your face.
I'm looking forward to Boxing Day, mate. Oh boy.
Despite having no striker, I'm still no confidence.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to Thursday. There was a lot of Wednesday. Well, even though we just sort of established that. Thursday is when the sort of the Europa League fixtures sort of get stuck in. So Man United, they beat Bodo Glimt 3-2, and so yeah, Amarim's first win that we were talking about how he's going to do the other day, and so yeah, it hasn't exactly been. It was Man United's first win, Rasmus Højlund, he was brilliant for him, but it still wasn't exactly... They didn't make it comfortable for themselves. They didn't make it easy, did they?
Well, it didn't look out on the scoreboard, obviously a 3-2. But I obviously would say I'm a bit gutted. But when I saw their lineup, I actually didn't see their lineup until like the end. It was still what I consider a strong lineup, but it's obviously not as strong as you see it, you know, like from the past. Like the actual proper strong squad. But, you know, it was nice to see Tyrell Malacia back in action after quite a long time. But no, it did look close indeed, but it's just kind of what happens. I mean, he got the 3 points, which is all that matters when you come out of that result. But even if it was close, the Man United fans could say, "Oh yeah, well he weren't good enough. He was 3-2 down." You still got the 3 points, so stop whining about it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day. I could go and say I won 5-4 against them in Lowestoft Town with Manchester City. I still got the 3 points.
Yeah. Well, that would mean that either Lowestoft would have to get like 6 promotions, or Man City FFP charges hit them so hard that they get relegated all the way down to the 7th tier, which would be absolutely sick.
I think you've forgotten about one good competition here, the FA Cup.
Yep, of course. I was actually getting onto that. So, yep. So big FA Cup weekend coming up, second round, and then at the end of that, the third round draw, which we'll all be tuning into.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but yeah, there's already been a fixture tonight. So Harrogate Town beat Gainsborough Trinity 1-0. So yeah, Gainsborough in the 7th tier. I think it was one of the first times they've made it to the second round proper. And yeah, you know, towards the end I watched the ending towards the end, and to be honest, towards the end of it, Gainsborough were playing some very good high press, but Harrogate was sort of they looked like they were parking the bus towards the end.
Well, what happened to the good old like League 2 or non-league days? You just play a 4-4-2, bring it up long, but you know, what's pressing in Gainsborough Trinity? Like, come on. But you know, no, I think Harrogate kind of parked the bus on purpose because like it's kind of like, you know, what you see with Neil Harris. Like, I mean, you know, I have some people say, "Oh yeah, how did you only beat Wayne Rooney 1-0 when we beat him 6-1?" Not you in particular, but no, it was basically, I was like, because Neil Harris would not play the type of football. It's just basically, I think Harrogate Town were just trying to do what Neil Harris would do and just take the 1-0 win and get to the next round.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting ties from this weekend, and a couple of interesting kickoff times. So tomorrow, Willstone versus Wickham. That's an 11:30 kickoff. Like that only time that happens I've ever seen happen in the last couple of years is in the FA Cup. Like, why do you think they do that? That's just a bit weird, and also it's quite a ride. It's, you know, quite a distance from Willstone to Wickham that early as well.
Willstone Raider better be getting up early, man.
Yeah.
He's got to get to that game.
Yeah. To be honest, if I were a Wickham fan, I'd go any distance to watch Richard Kone play football. God, he is brilliant, honestly. Yeah. And let's see, which other one is here? Yep, Kettering Town versus Doncaster Rovers. That's on Sunday, and that's a 12 o'clock kickoff. I do not agree with early kickoffs on Sundays. That's just wrong, in my opinion. 12:30 kickoffs on Sundays, they're just wrong. They should be abolished.
That seems a bit over the top, but
yeah,
I get where you come from, because, like, you know, you've got your stuff to do on Sundays.
Yeah, of course. I'm probably still in bed at 12:30.
I'm not in bed, but
yeah.
Like, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably just sitting there, like, you know, PlayStation or something. If you check out the Madden live stream, completely off the topic, but go check out the Madden live stream on my channel, please. Thank you.
Of course. It's caught up on catch up, right?
I think so.
Yeah, of course. I'll check it out.
I mean, I kind of get into the video myself, but that's not the point.
Fair enough. I can see a couple of them. Yep, the beginning Jaguars franchise episode 1. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, nice, good stuff. Alright, so yeah, make sure to go and subscribe to my boy. And also, speaking on subscriber
No
counts.
spoilers. No spoilers. I do not want. I'm not going to say anything. I was going to, but no spoilers.
Of course. But yeah, another thing on subscribers, guys. We are currently on 85. We are 15 away from 1,000. If you could just go and click that button, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it would completely make my weekend. It would make my day. So yeah, just go down there, click that red button, and make it grey. And yeah, let's continue. So another fixture, another result that's probably worth talking about. So Tottenham yesterday drew to Roma. So yeah, 94th minute, Matt Hummels flipping it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's going to be a considering the run that Tottenham have been on, they'll be definitely disappointed to drop points there, won't they?
Absolutely, but Matt Hummels. He went from like 0 to hero real quick because like he was obviously the reason why Spurs scored their penalty really early in, giving away that penalty. With it wasn't a great challenge at all, but Hummels obviously got it done, and now all of a sudden he went, he looked like he had a bad start to start off with, but then when he went and scored that winner, I think maybe it could be a turnaround of Hummels. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, it was a very, very important equaliser for AS Roma, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be. I'm not really sure how they'll keep on doing in the Europa League. Also in Serie A as well. Let's see, where are they in Serie A? They're currently they need to be having they're 13th at the moment, and
they're on their third manager.
Yeah, 3 points off the relegation zone. They're third manager of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, Ranieri this time.
So they really need to try to be taking something from this season. If that's because they're really not doing well in the league. They're all from second down to fourth. It's down to fifth, all on 28 points. So yeah, they're miles off the top four in the Serie A at the moment. So they really need to be trying their best to take something from this, even if they can't do anything in the league. Honestly, if I were like a team like them, I'd just say just prioritise Europe, because they've got to be taking something.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, to be honest, what I'd just say if I was Roma, I'd say just give up, and just like try and challenge for Europe. I would say try and challenge for Europe, but I'm not sure they could get Champions League. But if they just put their focus into Europa League, Champions League could be a chance still anyway, and it's still up for grabs, and you just keep going.
Yeah. Going back to the FA Cup, there's one match in there that I'm honestly finding quite hard to call at the moment. Solihull Moors against Bromley. Now this one is going to be, very interesting. So
we're going all over the place this episode.
Yeah.
We got from Championship, Europa League, back to FA Cup again. Like,
it's good to cover only.
Over the place, but we got everything.
All over the place, like that old show on CBBC. Yeah, this one's going to be hard to call. So these two played in the National League playoff final last season, and that was, of course, Bromley won that on penalties. Byron Webster scoring the winner, with his EFL armband on. So yeah, of course, Solihull, they're going to really be wanting revenge for this one. But now Bromley in League 2, this is their first time in the second round of the FA Cup since 1946. And this is a really good chance for both teams to make history.
Well, absolutely. But yeah, like you said, Solihull Moors are out for revenge for sure, because that could have been them in League 2. I don't know which one was more shocking, probably Solihull Moors, but maybe Byron Webster goes back another penalty, but this time with a proper EFL armband. Maybe. But no, on a serious note, I actually don't know what's going to happen in that game. Like, I'd like to say Bromley are going to win because, they're in League 2, but then you've had the shocking results like last season. I'm sure you were happy as a Norwich fan when Maidstone knocked out Ipswich.
Of course. I'd never been happier to go into school on that Monday. Yeah. So honestly, it's a break from of course, because of the FA Cup, we pretty much don't really have a huge amount of League 2 or League 1 stuff to talk about. But, you know, there's still some decent fixtures in there. So, Colchester playing Swindon, which is a direct repeat of the FA Cup, well, even though this is at home for Col U. So yeah, I think that they won at Grimsby the other week, and you know this is the chance for them to put some form together, because you know they're honestly a team that I don't really think has been consistent for a very long time, 20 years even. But you know something's got to click for them at some point.
Well, absolutely. Like, I mean, every team, consistency can hit somewhere, but this could be it. Maybe for Colchester, like they need to probably hit on it now, especially when they're down in the slumps of League 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, with the win against Grimsby away, I saw a good sign of that. So maybe coming up, this could be their chance at actually, you know, gaining a bit of ground for some consistency, and we can maybe see if they get a good result this week. Some pretty high and flying Colchester United.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can definitely be very good on their day, because you know they've already beaten MK Dons this season, and you know put up credible performances against the top teams in the league. So fixtures in League 1. Wrexham against Barnsley is going to be like sort of interesting. Of course, you know Wrexham, they got quite a lucky win, even though it was very very hurtful. It would have been horrible on Lincoln the other week. That own goal was absolutely just it stung like a wasp. But yeah, Barnsley, they're another team that I think the reason that Wrexham has sort of like taken a break, like they went out, they're just trying to make it good for the documentary, aren't they? Do you think that's what they're trying to do?
I wouldn't say that's what they're trying to do, but obviously, you know, it's not a cheeky bit of documentary, but I didn't really watch a lot of documentary football wise. Like, I watched a bit of Mission to Burnley. I watched all of Nothing from Arsenal the other year when they first made the top 4 push. But I've watched like the tiny bit of the Wrexham one, but nothing too much.
Yeah.
But like, onto Wrexham itself, I would say Wrexham Barnsley. I'd like to say something about Barnsley entirely. I thought like when they got relegated first time around, you'd expect them to come straight back up, and they had a slump year. And then I thought, oh yeah, this is the year, and then they went out in the playoffs. So Barnsley, if they don't go up this year, they could be stuck in League 1 for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
A long while, because obviously they could have probably kept quality second season, but first season they obviously lost a bit of quality, but had the money to obviously do it. But if they don't get it now, this is like your last chance. Otherwise, it's just gone. You're going to be stuck in League 1 for a while, and that's what's happened with teams like Scunthorpe United the other year. Like a few years ago, maybe even like 6 or 7, they were probably like Championship level. Maybe I don't really know off the top of my head, but
now they're in the bloody National League North.
Yeah, National League North.
Yeah.
That's what changed the team when they don't have the consistency anymore.
But also, ownership problems played a massive part in that as well, which is true. And one other one, Rotherham against Lincoln City, so a chance for Lincoln to bounce back. Honestly, Rotherham United have surprised me this season, because they've been, by their standards, they probably set themselves towards the start. They've been pretty poor as well, because a lot of people expected them to do well in League 1 after having a really really torrid season in the Championship. They rebuilt well. They bought some new players in, but they're currently 17th or something. I think they're in the bottom half of the table. Yeah, they're 19th, and this is just weird. Like, League 1 is just a weird league. Like, it's different to the Championship. It's just like strange, because like Rotherham, they're 2 points adrift of the relegation zone at the moment.
Well, yeah, but I could tell you there's obviously one key factor that leads into this Rotherham slump. Obviously, I think the biggest factor was losing someone like Victor Johansson.
Yeah, that's true, of course.
The only reason why they actually had at least 15 points, otherwise they would have made that.
Yeah, now look how he's doing for Stoke.
Yeah, he's wonder.
Yeah,
that's what Victor Johansson does. That's what he brought to the table at Rotherham, and that's why Rotherham didn't just finish on practically 0 points. Otherwise, it's practically what they would have done. Jaden Philogene going to get a Puskas award now before you think that way.
Yeah.
But No, I just also the plus one
Yeah, I
goals.
know, that's
Yeah,
mad.
they are some crazy goals.
Uh-huh.
But Trilogy might get it. You're not sure though.
Mhm.
It probably won't be Garnacho, just knowing the votes.
Yeah, of
But
course.
no, Rotherham losing Victor Johansson, on what I was saying, it's just a big loss for them, which is why they're slumping, because they've had to settle in with a new goalkeeper, which
Yeah.
probably isn't their preferred option because it's not Victor Johansson, because he was easily one of the best goalies I think in the league.
Yeah, and they still finished bottom.
Mm.
Yeah. I never thought that I'd be saying that the Puskas race could potentially go down between Alejandro Garnacho, Mohamed Kudus, and Jadon Philogene.
Well, I found it crazy at the start of the season that Jadon Philogene was linked with Barcelona.
Yeah, that's true. That's mad.
Imagine going taking a flight from Hull all the way to Barcelona.
Yeah, but to be honest, he's struggling for game time at Aston Villa at the moment, which it's sad to see.
Mm.
Mhm.
I'd like it if he got game time, because obviously what we saw at Hull, he could do something. He can make the impact. It's just he hasn't obviously been able to be given the chance, because obviously Villa have such good players as well. Like you've got Morgan Rogers, Leon Bailey, all these players like that. They're just gonna get Jadon Philogene out of the squad. But I bet you, if one of them get injured and Philogene gets a chance, Philogene will probably prove them why he should be in that starting role.
Yep. So going on to fixtures ahead of this weekend in the as Derek Ray would say, one of the most exciting leagues in Europe, the Championship. So Middlesbrough against Hull at 12:30, Watford against QPR, 12:30 kickoffs and 1:30 kickoff. So Oxford United versus Millwall at 12:30. And can I just say, the Kassam Stadium at 12:30 on a Saturday is not an easy place to go. You've heard that from me.
Are you saying that because you lost 2-1 or what?
It was 2-0. It was 2-0, and it was truly a horrible day.
Sound good.
No, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, that day was just I felt heartbroken that day because Jonathan Rowe just withdrew himself from the squad. And of course, I'm not going to go into this. I'm not going to turn this into blooming crybaby scene about Johnny Rowe. But yeah, I still miss him. Like even after all that, because he potentially cost us a point that day. And now he's on loan at Marseille and he's doing well. I never thought he'd be linking up with Neil Maupay and Mason Greenwood. But yeah, it's just sad to see, because last season he was just magical to watch. He was an incredible footballer to watch, an incredibly nice person as well. I met him multiple times, and it's just horrible when a player does something like that, especially when you don't expect it.
Yeah, you obviously have players like that, and it just sucks because obviously they look nice, they have the qualities, they have everything, and then all of a sudden he just withdraws himself from the squad and just forces himself out the club.
Yeah, when he gets too big for his boots. Yeah.
Because he sees the quality that goes to him. It's the reputation gets to him.
Yeah. There's another, probably the spicy fixture of tomorrow. Blackburn Rovers versus Leeds United. So yeah, that's a Lancashire derby and a half. So of course, both teams have had mixed starts to this season. Even though Leeds have been slightly more consistent than Blackburn have. So yeah, the Rovers are currently 25th and the Lily Whites are 2nd. So yeah, it's been a sort of complicated start of the season for Blackburn, because at the start I thought they were really good.
Yeah, but again they lost Sammy Smodics because obviously again, I know I said last week, not every team's a one-man team, which they're not. But Sammy Smodics losing the top goal scorer of the Championship is a massive, massive loss. I mean, he nearly won the Golden Boot and got relegated. That would have been quite the achievement. Top goal scorer in the Championship, losing a player that could bag so many for you, and it's the reason why you're kind of getting these results, is big, because that was when Blackburn first lost Adam Armstrong to Southampton, and that was obviously a big loss for them.
Yep.
And that just shows how much it could affect the squad losing a player like Sammy Smodics or Adam Armstrong. Funny that both of them come from Blackburn.
Yeah, of course.
Brighton Diaz.
So talking about some stuff from the Premier League. So Brighton just drew to Southampton. Oh, I literally just saw that. That'll be a huge point for Southampton in the long run. They probably needed it, and it's nice to see Flynn Down score as an ex-West Ham player.
Wow.
But yeah, how big of a point do you think that probably is for Southampton? It could be in the long run.
Well, when they should have got 3 against Liverpool, but they've had this problem before of just losing leads every single week. But no, I think, it's a good point to take for Southampton. It gets them 1 point away, 1 point further out of relegation. But you just got to keep yourself going. And Southampton are obviously doing that. They're trying to build consistency, which is what they're going to do. And a point against Brighton, against Fabian Hazela's side, that obviously does that for you, doesn't it?
Yep. And another team that's probably trying to build consistency at the moment, Wolves. They're playing Bournemouth tomorrow. No, they've been on a good run in the last 2 games. They beat Fulham 4-1 at Craven Cottage, which was quite surprising. If you ask me, I thought Fulham would win that quite comfortably. And I probably, if I were a betting man, which I'm not, if I were a betting boy, which I'm not, I probably would have lost a bit of money. But yeah, could be. Do you think that how Wolves have been doing in the last couple of weeks? Do you think this could be, if they keep the consistency up, then it probably will, keep them afloat in the Prem, and it will probably save Gary O'Neill's job?
Well, I think Gary O'Neill's job was saved when the Wolves said they weren't going to sack him. They were going to actually give him a chance, which shocked me, as this team is winless. They won nothing. But he's obviously got to have made a turnaround a bit, winning 4-1 and getting another win here and there. It's perfect, isn't it?
Yep.
It's just what Gary O'Neill is known to do, like what he did. I was about to say West Ham, but that's Football Manager for me. Bournemouth, that was the one. When he got sacked, was it he got sacked or did he leave? I think he got sacked, which was just harsh.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That was more harsh than Steve Cooper and Leicester.
Yeah. So probably that and the other fixture of tomorrow, the 5:30 West Ham Arsenal. Yep. Thing we need to talk about there is so the thing that people have been saying about the London, that's the problem with the London Stadium, is the atmosphere. Well, basically, so have you heard of the Ironworks Alliance? It's completely fine if you say no. I'll explain it to you.
To say if I have one.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, basically, so they're a West Ham fan group. Yeah, they're a West Ham fan group that are incredibly, determined to improve the atmosphere at the London Stadium to make it similar to what was, of course, at Upton Park back in the day. So what they're doing, they've created tifo. They've created 2 tifos for the game, and they're encouraging West Ham fans to bring their scarves and hold them up during the first rendition of I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles to create a similar atmosphere to what Leeds had against Norwich last season in the playoffs semi-final. Did you see that? All the Leeds fans had their scarves up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're that same sort of thing. So do you think that this could potentially be the start of not only hopefully West Ham putting some blooming consistency together, because that seems to have been a foreign concept this season, but also do you think this could be potentially turning point for atmosphere at the London Stadium, because that's always been a problem, really?
Well, yeah, maybe this could bring some atmosphere, maybe bring the fans back to life here, and maybe consistency can be built, especially if you could get a result against Arsenal like you did last season in the Cup.
Yeah.
But, or was that this season? I think it was.
Yeah, it was last season. We beat them 2-0 at the Emirates as well.
But I thought my knowledge was going dead then. Yeah. But no.
Impossible.
We've had it happen, but no. Arsenal, I do think they're going to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
It is Arsenal after all. But if you get even a draw out of this would be really good to take.
Yes, absolutely.
Good to take against a squad like Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all we've got time for now. We've been going for quite a while. So yeah, thanks very much for tuning in, guys. Make sure to check out Daniel's channel. I'll leave another link to that in the description below. And so yeah, I will be at the Norwich Luton game tomorrow. So there'll be a vlog for that. And so look out for that. And so yeah, thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks very much. See you soon.
See you, Matt.